watching this video, that would mean that there is a high possibility you have access to the internet. But have you wondered how many people in the world or in your country do not have access to the internet? Stephen Maltodonko is the name I respond by. I had the opportunity to take an online course during this COVID-19 pandemic with the Internet Society on community networks.
Community networking is a networking that everybody in the community can hook to or connect to.
Community network. Community network. I don't know.
It's trying to interlink people or things within a confined area, or basically trying to connect things which are close to each other in a particular area.
So I learned you are studying about community network.
Now, what is community network?
General terms, there will be so many definitions around the globe on that community networks actually are. But one of the main things that I actually like about community network is that there is heavy participation or involvement of community people from the designing to the implementation to management. So in simple terms, certain people tend to say that community networks are actually networks that is built by community people, managed by community people for the community. A network built by the people for the people.
So the era that we are now, this COVID-19, coronavirus everywhere, all over the world, do community network matter?
Yes, so I really got scared in my line of study, just to know that over 50% of the Ghanaian population do not have access to the internet. And if it's stated in the publication that about 9.7 million students have been affected by this COVID-19 and we're not supposed to go out, and all lessons are online, what happens if someone in my village don't have access to the internet? And so if there were community networks where internet can be provided to those communities who have been caught up in the digital divide, then we can say that we've been able to include all of them as well to be able to have access to the internet. I've seen kids as low as 2 years learning on Zoom. What happens if you don't have access to the internet?
What would one need to build a community network?
So for one to be able to actually build a community network, first and foremost, you need a team of experts who understands what a community network is and how to handle all the equipment as it is done. Most importantly, for every idea of business to be able to run, one of the things that you need to forget is the plan, which people see in the business world as in your business plan or proposal. It is your business plan that it helps you or guides you in the way you're going to implement your community network, how you want to be able to manage it, and be able to sustain it. Moving away from that, you also, of course, need equipment. And in deploying community networks, most of the things that rely on low-cost Wi-Fi equipment to be able to deploy, because in building a community network, you're looking at means to actually reduce the cost of implementation. So there's always at the back of your mind that you need low-cost equipment. You will also need the light of creativity, as I've read in some of the places or through the online course, and that will make a reference of either shared bandwidth or infrastructure, where probably there's an existing infrastructure that the person allow you to be able to mount your antenna on the same or backhaul where necessary. How to inject internet into the Wi-Fi network as it is you are creating. Aside as their registration, legalization, taxation, among some of them are also financial issues. Definitely, you need money to be able to build a community network, even though it's a fraction of what it is a legacy network or a normal ISP might need. just a fraction of it, but no matter how small the amount of money is, it's also still so nice to be able to build a community network. So I'd want to add as well as some of the challenges, some of the barriers will be, even though in as much as a community might be willing to implement a community network, if they don't have some of the basic necessities as money to buy the equipment, how do you implement the community network?
In a natural fact, the money, infrastructure, and those things are
They can be
major challenges.
Yes, or barriers.
Barriers.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do we have any, by your research during your course, do we have any community network in Ghana?
We've had certain projects that are running, but if you want to use the definition of what a community network is, I could say yes and no, even though there's been one that was implemented Koforidua, but as to whether if it's currently still running, I'm not sure. About. Around the world, there are so many successful community network stories that are happening.
Who can build a community network?
Anyone can build a community network as long as you found the need or purpose of why you want to build a community network. So it could be you, and it could be me, it could be the person actually who's actually watching this video. But I think anybody or any community can actually build a community network.
So you don't need to be an IT person or technically inclined about a community network. You can build a community network. Is that what, like me, set up and build a community network?
So in one of the earlier submissions, what I say is that you need a team of experts. So it might be me who wants to have a community network in my village, but one of the most important things I need to do is that I need to find somebody who understands the equipment to implement same. Yes.
Malto, it seems in your earlier submission you made mention of community network being established in Koforidua. So does it mean rural areas it's only in rural areas that we can see community network?
Okay, so interestingly, when I started the online course, that was my first understanding, thinking rural communities or areas where the only places where community networks could be built. But in actual fact, I think there are two purposes that drives the need for a community network, which in my own understanding, that comes to affordability and access. So affordability could mean that there is already an existing network, but it's expensive to not to run, but expensive to the end user. So that would mean that even though there's a community, like there's already an existing network that is providing internet, if you are charging me an amount I cannot pay, that would mean that yes, the network is there, but I'm not able to pay for. And then there is the other side of the case where there's no network actually at the community. So I could be in an urban area, but if a team of people or a certain community in the urban area still feels that the provision of the internet there is not affordable, they can still team up and actually build a community network, even in an urban area. But most importantly, to help bridge the digital division that is happening between the connected and unconnected. That's why it seems to be like the rural areas are more prone to the need of why community network needs to be built. But actually, in my understanding, I think urban cities can actually also have community networks. Yeah.
Can you tell the viewers about the barriers or the challenges in building a community network?
Even it takes me back to an earlier question I answered about what were some of the challenges I said, like taxation, bandwidth, funding, and some of those things. Yeah. So if we think community networks are relevant for a nation or a country or in the world, feels a community networks, which to my understanding in the course, I think for us to be able to build the digital, to bridge the digital divide, why can't we make the taxation, so give tax exemptions for equipment that are used in building community networks, or all those legal issues or things surrounding community networks are made sensible. NTA, which they takes care of our spectrum. If they allow the community networks to be able to share their spectrum, I think some of those things actually could ease the burden of team of people who want to be able to help those community networks, not only for affordability, but also to be able to help connect the unconnected. Funding, in my mind, is dicey because, yes, you can't always wait for a government to, but you can also find ways and means to actually be able to fund your thing. So if there are NGOs that could help support some of the community networks that want to be able to make those things possible. Yeah, so I think that funding or loan issues actually should also be a means of actually speaking of people who want to be able to build community networks.
The government can also
Really fund support for any team of group of people who want to build community, I think would help the network go a long way.
Do you foresee Ghana being one of the major countries trying to implement community network?
I would say yes, because if we have about 19 million of our current population of about 31 million people who are still not connected to the internet, then I think Ghana as a nation should be up and doing, or should see the need of actually building more community or helping people who are interested in community networks to make it happen. Because like I said in one of my earlier submissions, now students are supposed to write exams online. What happens if you're in a community who do not have access to internet? Are you going to lose your exams? You are working in an office where now all your operations have gone online. What happens? Are you out of job just because you don't have access to internet? So yes, if we have over 50% of the top population of Ghana which are not connected. So how do we connect them? Because one of the main reasons why we are having that digital, one of those major digital divide is that the rates of investment, putting up all those structures in all those communities or small rural areas, a very minimal number of people, most of the time do not actually make sense to the investor. Because if I take huge sums of money, millions of dollars to implement an infrastructure and to several a community of 500 people, how much time would it take me to recoup my investment? Yes. So community networks makes it possible, like even like a burden of the great investors or those amounts of money that probably would have been pushed down the drain to be able to help the unconnected connected.
After this course, what next? Are you preparing to go and establish community network in your hometown? Look back tota. Du comment view after this course, will you make it a project upon yourself that I want to serve my community by giving them a network for them to use to fulfill your course?
That is like putting me on the spot like I did for you there on the first time. But it's really interesting. I think I was really honored to have taken this course, and my thinking and horizon has actually been broadened. So one of the things I said is, even when I go on the course, every 1 a.m. at night will be like, so where can I actually implement this community network? And if I have the funds, like, where do I want to implement this community network? So I think I now have so much knowledge in building implementing a community network. I will not think or have a second thought to implement it in my ability if I have the opportunity to
look back to
yes. If I have the opportunity to implement a community network in my own village, because I think they'll be more than excited to have a network they can call their own and manage or run it
by themselves and
by
implemented by their own citizens. They are engineers. Oh, that's good. That's good.
I'll be more than happy to implement
a
community network in my village.
Do you intend training the up and coming youth to have a knowledge about this community network? Because I realized going through this interview with you, I realized It's something that everybody have to know about. Do you intend training youth on this course?
Sharing. I'm part of a community. At the back of my head, one of the things I'm thinking to do will be to have an open session with the community. If probably the COVID-19 pandemic actually goes with us. I mean, if not possible, actually have a virtual meeting or webinar with my community where I actually share the knowledge of community. But I think this is the knowledge I've gained so much. I will not hesitate to share the knowledge anywhere possible that if I get the opportunity to share the need of why community networks need to be implemented, because I think there are tons of people who still need to be connected, and there are tons of people who still need a lot of opportunities which they could have gotten being connected online.
My last question. Do you intend writing a proposal to the government? Because I could say this, with this pandemic era that we are now, if the government take it upon herself to implement this community, are you trying to write a proposal to the government to implement this thing in the communities, the network, the communities?
So I've started engaging two of my friends already, quite community network to make them understand something new or idea or lessons I've or knowledge I have actually gained. So there are two places that actually come in mind. There is a defect fund where I think money is to support some of this kind of project. But the Internet Society actually, as it is, I also belong to the Ghana chapter. Are also interested in some of these projects as well. So I wasn't surprised when they came up with this online course. And I was blessed to actually be able to have been part of the online course.
Ghana, we are blessed. Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
so
We are blessed.
actually, there are two things actually I'm planning. If the opportunity comes for me to be able to have this done with any partnership, either by with government or with my ISOC chapter, I mean, why not? But I've already started having the discussions with my friends. What can we do with the knowledge I've gained? It mustn't end with me, but other people also need to be able to know about what community networks are.
What of? We are grateful.
Yeah, man.
If we have 10 of you in Ghana trying to implement these things in Ghana, we'll go forward. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
We wish you all the best in your project.
Thank you.
And I want you to consider community project in Lokbatota.
Thank you.
Come on,